Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's another episode of Live Unscripted 2025. And right here on your screen is no other person than Mrs. Chiamaka Linda Vershima. And if it is your first time on my channel, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell to get a notification when the next content drops. And if it is your first time on Facebook, go ahead and click on that follow button because that is one of the best decisions you're going to make in your life this year and beyond. And I'm going to share with you why in this series. Now, remember, the purpose of Life Unscripted also lies in the aspect that you need to learn how to become a student for life rather than just academic sessions for optimum success. And yesterday in the series, we discussed solely about the foundational course. When I mean course, I mean CURSE of study. And we were able to go back to the foundation and the meaning of things and the problems why these things has happened. And today we are going to continue from where we stopped yesterday because we are talking about what education is truly all about and how you can be able to become this in order to improve your results. Are you ready for today? Yes, you shouldn't be ready alone. Invite your friends, let them tag them in the comment section, or you copy the link and share because the envy is less when everyone is succeeding. All right. Now, going into the business of today, like I told you, right? The problem basically still stands that a lot of people do not know anything for themselves. They let the society determine what they know for themselves. And because of that, they are vulnerable to societal opinions that they forget to live the life that they should be proud of. All right. So we are going into defining truly what is this education thing, right? We have talked about education and the essence that people are saying that school is calm. Of course, I've already told you that yesterday in the series. But you really want to understand the basis. You really want to understand the foundation. You want to go back to the very beginning to know what these things actually mean. Because, like I always say, and as I even repeated last series, that your definition affects your application. And your application is going to be a reflection. Your outcome is going to be a reflection of what you know, right? So, right now, what is truly education? I was telling you yesterday that education is all about leading forth, bringing out, bringing up, leading forth, which means you are more like a guide. Someone is guiding you. That's why you need training. Someone is teaching you. Someone is helping you to develop the mindset and the character that is needed for you to be a functional individual so that you don't just have capacity for capacity's sake, but you have capacity that is functional to provide solutions as well as be able to help solve problems progressively, even as you go forth, right? So, that being said, we've known this thing about education. And when you know that it's all about bringing forth, it recognizes the fact that you have attributes, you have capacity. All you need is a training. Now, because education is all about bringing forth, it does not necessarily need to happen in a four walls of university or in a four walls of a formal education setting because there are dimensions to this education. You need to understand that education is life. Life is a teacher on its own. There are a lot of things school will not teach you. That's why your parents hope that sending you to school is the solution of everything you need to know in life. That's not true because life itself, right from home, there is something you're going to learn from your home. You're going to learn the history of where you are coming from. You're going to learn the culture of the place you are coming from. You need to learn when you go to church. It's also a learning environment that helps bring out the capacity on an aspect of your life, which is spiritually. There is an aspect of your life which build home values, social values, family values into your life based on the impact your parents have in you because they know that you have this capacity to lead, but they are trying to find out that is even going to determine the best decision you're going to make as a parent into sending your children to school. You know, the kind of school of which their attribute is going to align in order to bring forth and unravel that particular thing that they are called to do. That is the essence of education. That's why even your grandmother and your grandfathers that do not have certificates, they are very they even people who graduated with the best result in agriculture do not know how to navigate the farmland. Why? Because they were taught the theoretical aspect of it, but the field experience they do not have. And so those your grandparents, they were able to learn through practice, and that is education on their own part. That was what brought food to the table. That was what did a lot of things for them. So do not stereotype education to the four-wall setting of a former place or whatever it is, maybe university, primary school, where you do all of those things. That's why you think that education ends there. It doesn't end there. It's not because you went to school that caused you to be educated. Education is life. That's why you need to build the habit of learning. But the problem is, the parents who is advising you to read their books, do they have the habit of study? Do they have the habit of learning? Even when they told you that they got first position, what is an evidence that they truly have it? Do they have library at home? Have you ever seen them read books? Have you ever seen them sit down to study? What kind of thing do they watch? Because those things, modeling is an aspect of education that you can learn by observing. That's one of the things you struggle with when it is time for you to get mentorship, because you think that going into the classroom is all that you need to actually succeed in life. And when you get to that school setting, they are only going to teach you how to succeed. Of course, they do not even know the true definition of what success is. That's why when you get into the heat of challenge, you are confused, you give up easily. Why? Because they did not equip you in that particular aspect. I'm going to share with you what success truly means. Now, what is success? Success is something that is progressive. It is ongoing. It's something that comes after. So success just shows you that something is done. A goal is achieved, a target that you set. So every single day you succeed. Every single day you succeed. When you fail, you succeed, because it's going to be a learning experience for you to know where to channel your own energy for the next level of thing you want to do, because that failure is a learning experience. But because they did not teach you in that aspect, you are always afraid to actually play it safe in the marketplace. And that's why you hate to sell. You hate to do all of those things, because those persons who recommend those things for you never endangered those things. Now, you studied business administration, you studied business management. How many of your lecturers really had a business they are managing? How many of your lecturers truly have practical hands-on experience on all of those things? So how do you expect that a formal setting is going to teach you everything you need to do, you need to know, in order to achieve optimum success? And remember, success in this context is to be able to get things done, actualize things every single day of your life. So the result that you get every single day, every day that you succeed, every day that you fail, is going to reveal the level of knowledge and development of your life. That is why you need to be a student for life and not just for academic session, because you have seen that academic session is that particular period of time you think you were advised to read your books. And for that reason, you don't study system, you don't study your environment, because the habit of study has been ripped off right from your foundation. So because of that, even after you graduate, you don't see the need to read book. If I ask you today, you have a lot of goals, and there are a lot of successful people who have been able to write books. You don't have the privilege to meet with them, but they have given you a blueprint in form of a book to be able to learn how these things work. Because of that foundation, you've never seen your parents read, you've never seen them do anything that has to do with study, even when they tell you that they actually made first position. If I ask you, what book are you reading? You tell me, oh, I'm not a reading type. It's not my hobby. It's not this, and no, not really. It's because you have not inculcated the habit of study. You have not inculcated the habit of learning. And I can tell you, the person talking to you is not just so far from there. That's the power of personal development beyond that thing, right? This is the book I'm reading. Yes. And it was recommended by my husband. I actually met my husband in a reading platform because I love to read. It's very intentional. It's very intentional. And I accept an environment of little or no energy. I know what energy means to me because it comes with a lot of presence. Because it's your presence that commands the power that you exude, which shows your uniqueness. But you can actually teach the same thing I'm teaching, but you don't have my presence. We can share it. That's the uniqueness about all of this thing. My understanding, even if we are reading the same book, my understanding about this won't be the same with you. So what you are reading shows what your routine looks like. What your routine looks like, I'm going to predict the kind of result you are going to produce if I look at your routine. That will show me the level of value you place on yourself. So that is why you are struggling to submit to mentorship. That is why you are struggling to learn. Why? Because the habit of study, the habit of learning has been ripped you off without your consent. So you think it's only when you have lectures that you need to get to a place, sit down for an hour, pay attention. Even your friends will be distracting you in the session. But those things are the things you do because you don't do it for you, you do it for others. And because of that, you don't groom the attribute of excellence in order to pay attention. Now you are struggling with attention span. You need to be able to understand that beyond the curriculum, there is a structure here. And until you begin to understand the foundation of this problem, you can now know how to deliberately practice in order to get better at this and be able to achieve optimum success. What is optimum? Optimum is choosing the best. It reflects excellence. Now, why people are dealing with excellence is because they are doing eye service. Eye service. The lecturer is coming. They said it's test. It's because of test. That's why you're reading. Because of exam. That's why you're reading. Your reason and your why to actually do the study. And the moment the exam is gone, that's the end of your study. Because your reason is short term. That's why you want to make money before you build yourself. And that's why you're going to lose a lot of money doing so. You see that there is a lot of headlines and some foundation you need to deal with right now. It's not easy. I had to come out of it. Yes, I made a first class, but it didn't stop me from reading books. I struggled with it because this was part of the things that I struggled with. But I had to join a reading platform to hold me accountable so that I can grow that habit again. So I know what it feels like to come from that particular point. And that's why I'm sharing this with you, right? We need to go back to the beginning, know things for ourselves. As little as the word, all of these things, find the etymology of word, know things for yourself, go for research. Because of these foundational courses, we do not find time to research. The moment we hear things, we run out of the space and start sharing shallow thoughts. And then we don't unravel those things because the essence of education is for us to unravel our uniqueness. And so we've lost it. We've lost it somewhere. And so that is why we need to go back to the very beginning and begin to study this. Now, who is a student? Now, you think a student is the one that sit down and listen. No. You don't sit down and just listen. That is not all that it is about a student. A student is one who is eager. A student is the one who is devoted to studying. That's what makes you a student. And it's not stereotyped to being in a particular place, being in a location, being in different places. It's not stereotyped to that. It is general. So if you are eager and you are devoted to learning and studying, you are a student. So you don't necessarily need to be in university to be a student. While you are in the workplace, because you are eager and devoted to learn, you are focused in your job, you are focused on learning the skills and competencies that helps you to build your dreams. That's what makes you a student. That's what increases your attention span. That is what is helping you to exude excellence because you want the best. We need to actually go back to the very beginning of all of these things to understand this. And I know that you shouldn't be the only one paying attention to this. Your parents need to see this video. Your friend needs to see this video because from this part of the world, that is what we are going through. We all need to pay attention to this in order to get it right. So if we don't know where it is wrong, we don't know how to make it right. So we need to go back to this. And I hope this is able to make a lot of sense to you because learning, a lot of people are being trained, but some persons have not learned. What's the difference? The proof of learning is an improved outcome. If the result you are producing, if every day you are succeeding is on the same level of result, you are not making progress. You have not learned, which means you need to improve. Do you understand that? So let us understand that you need to be a student for life and not a student for that academic session. If you are just a student for that academic session, after that session, it ends there. You don't learn just only for competence. You also learn to develop your character because it is the character that sustains your competence. No matter how good you are as a fashion designer, if you don't deliver on time, I'll find someone else because time is a precious value system. These are the things people look for, loyalty. These are the things. And because you neglect all these things, that's why you are struggling with time management. You struggle with a lot of things. See, what we are going to discuss in Life Unscripted will blow your mind. And I hope you have subscribed to my channel, put on the notification bell. If you're watching on Facebook, click on follow button. We are building confident global champions, and there is nothing anyone can do about it. If you want to have one-on-one conversation with me, of course, click the link in the description of my channel. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, click the link on my bio. Let's have that conversation and change this paradigm thing. You have to be able to exude excellence as a person and not because of academic session. You need to become a student for life to improve your success, to be able to improve your outcomes. And the time is now. I still remain your friend, and you're going to get edupreneur and networking strategies, Mrs. Chiamaka Linda Vereshima. And until I come your way again in the next series of Life Unscripted, don't forget that it's time for you to live a life you are proud of and not the one society recommends. And it's time for you to go back to the very beginning to understand the definition of things so that you can be able to improve your application as well as your outcome. See you in the next series. Bye for now.